Mercedes have struggled to curb their issues with bouncing on long straights over the course of the season to date. Toto Wolff has insisted that Mercedes will not resort to scrapping their unique side pod design in their attempts to curb the bouncing that held back Lewis Hamilton at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The 37-year-old managed to secure an impressive fourth-placed finish on the streets of Baku after climbing his way up the field, but endured a torrid time of things in the cockpit, with his car often bouncing violently on the long home straight. Hamilton complained of back pain on a number of occasions over the course of the weekend and was spotted moving gingerly as he stepped out of his car at the end of Sunday's 51-lap race. Wolff believes that it will not be necessary for Mercedes to get rid of their narrow side pods, though, with the Silver Arrows instead looking to alter the rear end of their W13 Challenger in order to combat the issue. Today we saw that the problems have not been solved, and now we have to take the decisive steps so that we don't take this problem into the second half of the season or even into next year, said Wolff, as reported by Formula One News. I don't think it's about our narrow side pods. Wider bodywork will certainly help in terms of stiffness, but it's not necessarily at the front, it's at the back. You have to look at that and all of the other issues like dampers, springs, suspension kinematics. It's all a bit complicated, but we are doing all of that work now. It remains to be seen whether Mercedes will be able to solve their issues with bouncing at this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix, with F1 set to return to Montreal after a 2-year absence from the calendar. The Silver Arrows appeared to have nailed a solution in Spain thanks to an important upgrade to the floor area of their W13 Challenger, but the problem has since returned in a different form to give them plenty of extra work to do at their Brackley headquarters over the coming weeks. A number of concerns have recently been raised about the long-term health of affected drivers, with George Russell having warned that it could only be a matter of time before a major incident occurs as a result of the bouncing. The problem, which appears to be hurting Mercedes to a greater degree than the other teams on the grid, is a byproduct of the ground effect that generates a significant percentage of downforce under the current set of rules. It is brutal. We are being shaken to pieces and I can barely see where to brake at the end of the straight because we are bouncing around so much, said Russell. A lot of us can barely keep the car in a straight line over the bumps and we are going round the last 2 corners at 200 miles per hour, with concrete walls either side of us, which is not a comfortable position to be in. It is unnecessary, with the technology that we have, that we are running a Formula One car millimeters from the ground. It is a recipe for disaster.